Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
A Zoom class unlike any other. Students say their Dickinson High School teacher gave them a profanity-laced lesson in hate.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the video. This is a teacher in New Jersey that did this. Now, let me tell you something. I remember teachers like this when I was going to school. They had a chip on their shoulder. I don't even know if you had that much hate for Black children, why are you trying to teach them? There are some that are really so far out in left field. They have no business being in class with children. And this guy is definitely one of them. And just listening to his rage, I'm wondering if this man is an alcoholic. Because you know how some alcoholics go into a rage and it just comes out of nowhere. And that's pretty much what the students are saying. His rage just came out of nowhere. They're talking about climate change and he's ranting on Black people and George Floyd being killer and all. What the hell does that got to do with climate change? And his mood changed so quickly that you have to wonder, is there something else going on with this man other than being a racist? Is something else there? It's definitely something else there. But this is where I'm concerned about Black students. It's too much verbal abuse, too much psychological warfare, and it's not really conducive to any kind of learning around this kind of teacher. And there's many like him, unfortunately, in front of Black children every day. Now, one thing about COVID, it forced everybody to lock down, and parents got to see what these teachers were like around their children. And we saw many stories come out about teachers doing and saying inappropriate things on these virtual classes. And I kind of love it because now the parents are seeing exactly what their children are dealing with every day. Did you see how in the story they said he wanted the Black children in the room to do a lesson that he didn't give to anybody else? I wouldn't have done that lesson either. I would not have done the lesson. So, ladies and gentlemen, this came out April 30th, 2021. This man should not be allowed near any children. And these teachers that are going into these out of control racist rants, they need to have their license taken away from them where they don't have the ability to go somewhere else and teach. Unfortunately, the worst thing they can do to this man is fire him. That's it, which means he can go to a different district and get a teaching job. And it doesn't take nothing for a white supremacist district to pick him up. They're not going to see this as a bad thing of what he did. So it's counterproductive firing him, and he can just go elsewhere and get a job. On the same day Jersey City students finally returned to class, a high school teacher was removed from them while under investigation for allegedly going on a vulgar tirade. Now, you heard The student said he was using all kinds of cuss words and everything. F this, F that. And he aimed it at the children. His vulgar tirade was aimed at his children, particularly the black students. So, unlike Zoom class, students at Dickinson High School said their teacher gave them a profane rant and a lesson in hate. A discussion on climate change devolved as teacher Howard Zotkin aired his grievances with the students. If you think if I'm privileged, then F you. He has no business. What they should have done when he was raging on, at least record it, but don't go back the next day and log in with this teacher or show up in person in his class. I would never have done that to my child. I would not have sent them back. Okay, F you, because my daughter think I'm privileged and I don't speak to her. He was seen saying in a recording of the video online, on the online class, at one point he started yelling and cursing at one student. Tima Williams, 17-year-old senior, said the landscape and design teacher seemed so focused on Black students, sharing his thoughts on the killing of George Floyd. I hear people whining and crying about Black Lives Matter, but George Floyd was an effing criminal and he got arrested and he got killed because he wouldn't comply. And the bottom line is we make him a effing hero, Zakin is heard saying in the recording. No, nobody is making George Floyd. And see, I heard this from white people before. Maybe that's what you think Black people do. We're not making George Floyd a hero. We are protesting and railing against the way he was killed. There was nobody, I haven't heard one Black person say George Floyd is a hero, but I've heard plenty of white people say it, but I've never heard it from Black folks. Black people were outraged that he was lynched out on those streets in front of cameras. And not one person stopped Derek Chauvin. That is what Black people are speaking against. Making him a hero? Who did that? Like I said, I don't hear that from no one but white people. That says it all right there. So, anyway, Williams said the teacher called 4 girls who were Black and told them he wanted an essay from them. No, if you're not requiring everybody in the class to give you an essay, those 4 girls don't have to do it either. I tell you what, if you would have done that to my child and other kids are excluded, I would have got with you and told you that. Now, why do 4 Black girls in the class got to write an essay and nobody else in the class have to do it? The hell with you. The student and her mother said they immediately contacted school officials and the school board, but said they heard nothing back until they contacted NBC New York. Yeah, because you were putting them out on Front Street at that point in time. That's why they jumped up and did something. Who does that? Of course, would curse. And I don't even curse at my own daughter, said Margie Neves, William's mother. To the shock of both mother and daughter, Zakin was back in class again Thursday and once again was cursing at students. He went off on Williams about her refusal to complete the essay. I wouldn't have done it either. I don't think you can make a case. You know what, Tima? You're full of S too. He's talking to a student like this. I wouldn't have done no assignment that nobody else had to do. I wouldn't have done that either. Zakin is heard saying Williams is upset by her, by what her teacher said and cried about the incident with her mother. She was crying. She came to me and told me, Mom, why is it there that there is a problem with my skin? This is what she told News 4. The district said late Thursday that Zakin had been removed from teaching. They explained the school was in the process of taking statements from students today before proceeding with disciplinary actions. And then a second video surfaced. The teacher will not have access to students or the school as we proceed. We are appalled by the statements, profanity, disrespect, and treatment of students. No, you weren't outraged until the news station got in touch with you. NBC New York reached out to Zakin via email and left a message on his voicemail, but he did not respond. Knock on his door went unanswered. Zakin also teaches at one of the local college, but it is unclear if they plan to take any action. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you need to consider educating your own kids. These folks have proven over and over again they are not capable of educating your children right. They don't need to be in front of us teaching a thing. There is nothing that Zakin here can teach your kids that you can't do 5 times better. He is not teaching your kid anything. Look at him sitting on a video and in class, in-person class, cussing students out. Who the hell needs a teacher like this? Unfortunately, some of you will see this and still push your kids right on out the front door and just keep ignoring all of the obvious signs that these folks ain't teaching your children nothing. And that is the intent, to make sure they never get a good education. But some substandard education from somebody like Zakin here. They'll give them substandard learning. That's all they'll get from somebody like him. Boy, if I was in charge, these folks would be banned from teaching. I would ban them from teaching worldwide. I would. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.